Now on page 43, they give a final checkup. Your final check to see if you really understand stuff going on in the book. So I'm going to go through that. If you don't want me to give you the answers, then you need to skip this part of the video. But in the first one, show me a note that gets, and then they want you to point out the note. Which note or notes, which note, just show me the first note in this case. Which note gets one count? Well, there's no way of knowing that. You can't answer that. It's not possible. It's an invalid question. They do this. They assume stuff. You see, which note gets a count is based on the time signature. There is no time signature here. They don't tell you which note's going to get a count. So how do you know? Any note can get a count. Any of them could be, technically. But we're going to pretend that a quarter note gets a count. On all of these, we're going to pretend a quarter note gets a count. So we'll just go with that. So the first one, you point to a quarter note, which is the second note in the line. Then 2 counts, well, that would be a half note. That's the first note in the line. 3 counts would be a dotted half note. Remember, a dotted half note is the same as 3 quarter notes, always. There, it doesn't matter what the time signature is. It's the same as 3 quarter notes. It doesn't tell you how many counts it gets, but if you know how many counts a quarter note gets, you can figure it out. Then 4 counts, well, that's the whole note, and that's the 4th note in the line, the circle. And then the half a count, that's an 8th note, and they give you, there's 3 8th notes there, and you point to the first 8th note, the 3rd note in the line, that gets a count. Now the second one, show me a rest that gets. Now here they do give you time signature, so it's about time. 1 count, which rest gets 1 count? Well, it would be the quarter rest, and that is the second group, the second. You have 3 pieces of music here. 3 time signature. Oh, I'm talking about the second one. And there's 2 quarter notes there. The squiggly things, those are quarter notes. Then a rest that gets 2 counts, well, that would be a half note. And you have to be careful here because a half note and a whole note look exactly alike. It's just one is above a line and one is below the line. Then a rest that gets 4 counts, well, that would be a whole rest, and that hangs below the line. So that's like the first one there. Those are whole rests. And then a rest that gets 3 counts. Well, that's a little tricky. Because look at the last one. You see it's got 3 4 time signature, and there's that box that hangs below the line, which would be a whole rest. However, remember, a whole rest can represent a whole note, or it can represent a whole measure. And that's what they're doing here. It's representing the whole measure. Therefore, in this case, it only gets 3 counts. Tricky. Then the third one down. Show me a sharp. The sharp is the little hashtag looking thing, the symbol. These are accidentals. The flat is in front of the second note. It's a little, looks like a B. The natural sign is in front of the last note. It's that weird looking thing. And 2-note chord, well, that's the first one where you have 2 notes together and they're connected, or they're touching, I should say. That's a 2-note chord. Then the last one, show me the following key signatures. F major, remember, has 1 flat, so it's the middle one. C major has no sharps or flats. I've been saying that forever. That's the 3rd one. And G major has 1 sharp, so that is the first one there. Then finally it says explain DC al fine, what that is. Well, DC means go back to the beginning. And al fine means go to fine. So it means go back to the beginning and then go to fine. Explain what LH means. Really? Left hand. It means left hand. LH is for left hand and RH is for right hand. I haven't seen an RH yet, but you will eventually, I'm sure. And that's the final checkup. So if you've got all that, great, and you understand all that, and everything's fine, you know the names of the notes, you're ready for book 3. If you're a little, I'm not sure yet, then you really need to go through the book again and go through the lessons again and take your time. You're going to find out when you go through the lessons again, you play the stuff again, you'll be able to play a little faster, a little more easily, or a little less difficult, and it'll work better. It'll come. It's much better. Don't rush through. I want to hurry up and get through the whole thing, so I'm just going to keep going. It doesn't work. Please, just take your time.